Having been back on land for a few days, it's time to start knocking out both the lingering and relatively new boat projects, as well as catching up on some much-needed editing, all before we head off once more. We are Paige and Daniel. For over a year, we have been traveling full-time with our Great Dane, Winston. You are joining us nearly 6 months after moving aboard our 38-foot catamaran and beginning the journey as liveaboard sailors. We now find ourselves in the southern Exumas, preparing for the next leg in the adventure.
Let's go provisioning.
A little expensive.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know,
It looks good to me.
The selection was actually pretty good. It's like they had a little bit of everything, and I was actually really impressed.
Awesome.
Everything was really expensive, but you know.
takes a lot of fuel to get stuff down here.
So while we're here at the dock, we're going to take care of a little docking incident. These things happen. It's okay. We'll get over it.
It's certain that we have a hole in the boat now.
Yeah.
We don't. We do not have a hole in the boat.
So what happened is we got a little chip in the gel coat. It's above the water line, but we want to make sure to cover it up so we don't get any water intrusion, which is bad. Taped off the area so that we can apply UV activated polyester filled thickened resin. So that's basically just a fancy term for uncolored gel coat. Put a little dab of this goop, hopefully. We did have some actual like West Marine gel coat repair stuff, but it had already kicked. It had just been sitting for so long, and this might be the same kind of issue. So we're just gonna keep working on it and see what we can get.
It's no bueno.
Nuh-uh. Mucho no bueno. Yeah, now I'm going through just what we have. So we have this Boat Life Seal Loctite. Yeah, let's not put Loctite on there. Marine silicone sealant. I don't know.
When we purchased Plot Twist, she was a turnkey operation. So she was loaded up with anything and everything we could possibly think we would need.
We had what we needed to complete the repair if it had still been good. We want to create a barrier between the fiberglass and the ocean. I don't think 4200 is the right answer, but I could be wrong. Let's go to the fountain of unreliable information.
AKA the internet.
Okay, well, after a brief Google search, 3 and 4200 bonds and seals to fiberglass, wood, and gel coat. A temporary fix, a band-aid. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a band-aid. Let's see if this is kicked or not. It's still sealed. Let's see if it'll... Yeah, manufacturing date on this was 2013. This is 10-year-old 4200. So if this is kicked, we'll give this a shot. We are rapidly running out of options. Oh, this is black though.
Ugh.
I'm not putting black on the boat. Would you be fine with a black spot?
It'll look like crap, but it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, and again, it's 4200, so it will come off. Yeah, I'm not getting any movement here. Nope. So now we're down to some caulking. Yeah. Nothing. Well, in my attempt to kind of help move the goop through the top, I was just kind of giving it a little squeeze, and yeah, Hulk smashed. But this looks like it might be usable. I'm just gonna put a little bit on. Yeah, so we'll let that sit and hopefully cure for a little while. This might just be the best of the bad options that we have.
One of the projects we're going to work on while we're at the dock is resetting our measurements that we have on our anchor chain. We marked the anchor chain with zip ties, and that's awesome, and that actually works fairly well.
Yeah, they just kind of get chewed up in the windlass, and so we just got to replace them every now and then.
And one of the first things we need to really do is secure the anchor so that when we take off the anchor chain, it doesn't just fall into the water.
Okay.
And if that doesn't hold, we still have the bridle attached.
The bridle on it.
I'm the best supervisor ever. One of the issues you guys can see, this is way too loose. I'm not exactly sure how it happened or how it got ripped out.
Yep.
But when it feeds over, when it feeds through this, it sometimes gets caught up and it doesn't feed correctly. So we have a lot of issues.
All right, now we want to try and put these in there. Yeah. Thank you.
I've done this a few times.
So here's 5 feet. Go ahead and take that.
I'll grab 5 feet. Here, let's lay it down.
And there's another 5 feet. So there's 10 feet right there.
Okay.
And that's that.
All right, so while I'm hanging out doing some editing and having a glass of whiskey, my darling husband is going to do something quite domestic.
Now it's laundry time. So, while Paige sits and diligently works her tush off, all doing all the editing, I'm gonna go be domestic. Winston, you're gonna stay here. I love you. Bye-bye. The really nice perks about this marina is that the laundry is free. Yeah, that's a nice change. Usually it's like $5-6 a load. $5 for the washer, $5 for the dryer. So it can be a healthy chunk of change.
It looks huge. It's exciting. I'm like a kid. Cruising has allowed me to look at the world with awe and excitement. It's like Daniel's gonna be busy while I'm editing.
That's the plan, at least.
This is the last night that we are going to be at the marina at Emerald Bay.
Yeah, I mean, been working all day, and the last thing you really want to do is cook. So let's go find some grub. Ow. Well, that's unfortunate. We'd hoped to come to the Sandy Toes Jerk Hut for a quick snack, but they're not open tonight. So I think the plan now is we're gonna drop the Winston off here at the boat, gonna give him some supper, and then go find supper ourselves.
Winston gets a hearty meal of cooked oats, a can of veggies, 3 dehydrated eggs, supplements, and 2 pounds of raw meat every day. This makes provisioning in the Bahamas a bit more challenging. Please leave a comment if you'd like to know more, and we can make a video delving into the Winston details.
Hungry?
Are you hungry?
Bon appetit. So we left Winston, and I believe he has stopped crying now. He only cries for a couple moments, so so heartbreaking. But we're gonna head over to Palapa and see if they can squeeze us in. We've been here for 2 weeks, and Daniel's been working on projects around the boat while I'm sitting here working on the computer. So, and now we're just ready to get off the dock.
We're all good. Well, our problem child. Belt tension's got there. It's loose, but we know why.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And I'm gonna try not to crash. Forward. Idling forward.
Just like that. There we go.
Go ahead and toss.
That's right.
All right, safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In tight quarters like these that need good visual reference, the aft helm position doesn't always offer the best viewing. So Paige heads to the bow and takes over visual piloting duties, making sure we're on the best line in and out of a potentially hazardous situation. Now that we've cleared the marina entrance and shoreline rolling waves, it's time to raise the sails. We head directly into the wind to raise the mainsail. This keeps any wind load off the sail and prevents it from getting caught in the lazy jacks that hold the sail bag, or the gray ropes holding up the blue thing the sail's coming out of. Once the sail is fully raised, we turn onto our intended course and trim, or move around, the sail until it's in the correct position for the winds we're trying to catch. In this case, we're running dead downwind, which presents its own unique set of challenges for a catamaran.
In order to maintain our course, our mainsail would need to be on our port side, which is usually not a big deal. We put the main on the port side, hook up our preventer, and it's not a problem. Today, however, we are currently in the middle of uploading a video. So when we put up the preventer, our Starlink is in the way, and that we don't want to lose our Starlink. And we don't want to take down the Starlink right now because we are uploading a video. So we have to keep the main on the starboard side today, so the preventer's hooked up for the starboard side. But it really does not want to keep it over there. The wind keeps kind of turning the boat to the port side. So anyways, Daniel is hand steering to maintain it on the starboard side for now. And the plan is for him to hand steer for 30 minutes in this choppy...
Did you hear that too? That was the mainsail trying to jibe.
choppy
But the
conditions.
preventer stopped that from happening.
We did drop the main in haste. Daniel was hand steering and we're going directly downwind, and the mainsail kept getting backfilled, and so which made it really hard to control. So we just very quickly centered the main and dropped her as fast as we could, and then we lost the jib sheet.
Whenever we turned up to drop the main, the head sail got backwinded, and me, incorrectly, turned the wrong way through the wind. So whenever the head sail actually caught the wind and snapped back to their side, it sheared a locking pin off of one of the blocks that the line goes up to the sail.
So this just turned into a motoring kind of day.
Unfortunately, because it's a beautiful day to go sailing.
I'm seasick. That's why I'm sitting on the floor of the cockpit, trying to watch the horizon. I have this thing on my wrist that's zapping me, and I don't think it's really doing any good. But, you know, it's worth trying, right? But I think the heat and then trying to do all that stuff with the preventer and the head sail and the mainsail is just too much. And now I'm just thinking I might need a bucket. So the sea state has calmed down quite a bit, and I'm feeling quite a bit better. Still not 100%, but a lot better than I was. But we're going to Prime Cay today. One of the challenges with Prime Cay is that it is a bit shallow actually getting into the anchorage. So we are arriving at a high tide, and we should have about 6 feet of depth while we're going through there. We're a 4.5 foot draft, so we should be fine. Fine.
The operative words there should be. Well, Navionics says that this anchorage has room for 3 to 6 boats depending on draft. And if I'm looking over there correctly, it looks like there's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 masts that I can see. We'll see.
The spaces between the islands are known as cuts. In the case of slow-moving vessels such as ours, it's extremely important to time the transit of these narrow channels.
Daniel said that after getting in and out of the marina entrance, this should be fine. But I don't think we should get too caught.
The rocky islands on either side of the cut funnel the ocean waters into fast-moving rivers during the peak of the tidal change. When the wind is blowing against the direction of the current, tidal rages can occur, and being thrown onto the rocky shores becomes a real possibility. However, being the prudent sailors we are, we clear this cut at the time between the tides, known as slack tide, and the transit was uneventful.
If this is the first one, no one's in her for a reason, right? The other one's better. So we might as well go check it out. And if there's no room at the end, We can come back here, I guess. All right, so our sounding is currently 12 and we're 10. And we're making our way through this shallow bit. This is supposed to be the shallower, right? Oh, we're not to the red mark yet. Okay. 3 feet under the keel. Lots of wiggle room there. One and a half. 1 foot. 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. Curvers off. 0.1 below us. And we're ready to drop it, I guess, whenever you are. I'll let out the bridle though.
Those are the best set anchor ever, but it's turtle grass and sand. I'm not seeing any rock.
After a long 2 weeks in a marina, we're happy to find an anchorage with only a few other boats. While we enjoy the camaraderie and meeting new friends, it is always a relief to drink in the quiet places that fill our soul with a sense of wonder. The thrill to be back on anchor in such a beautiful place is tempered by the realization that this is the first step in our journey back to the States. It is sobering to know that in a few short weeks, this will all be behind us. So we take a moment to breathe it in and savor every moment as if it is the last. Go ahead, subscribe to get more great content, and join us next week when we explore Prime Cay, traverse a dangerous cut,
I haven't been this nervous in a while.
and visit an underwater pianist.